distinct pleasure. Is my microphone on? It's my very distinct pleasure to be here today. It's my first Hero Roundtable, and in some ways I feel like I've found my spiritual home. It's so nice to be here and be inspired by all the people who are speaking today. So my talk is titled, Why Should I Care? And why should I care is certainly something we say when we feel a little bit demotivated, a little bit pissed off, a little bit like maybe we're being taken advantage of. Why should I care? And I hope that by the end of my 12 minutes today, you're going to have some kind of an answer to that question that's quite satisfying to you. So I'll start off by saying that I'm quite sure that you are a caring person. And I've met some of you so far, a few, but certainly not all of you. And if you're sitting there saying, well, how can she say that? How would she know? I'm just going to tell you for the moment that it's something that I believe. And the second thing I'm going to say to you is that the things that you do because you're a caring person, the acts that are based on your caring values, have the potential to be some of the most satisfying things that you do in your life, and also to make your greatest contribution to the world. So that's my talk. You have caring values. It matters that you have them. It makes you better, and it makes the world better. So you know what I'm going to say. You can relax now as I go into the details, and remember as much or as little of the rest of it as you like, as long as you remember that. So why did I say you're a caring person? So there's a foundation in the UK called the Common Cause, and they did some research with Britons. They asked 1,000 of them about their caring values and their selfish values. And it turns out that 74% of people said that they had very strong caring values as opposed to selfish values. Now, you may or may not have thought of that. Certainly, you're here at Hero Roundtable, so it shouldn't be that much of a surprise to you. But in fact, this particular piece of data is not very well known. They then asked those same 1,000 Britons, how caring do you think other people are? So you're a caring person? How caring do you think other people are? And 77% of them, a slightly larger percentage, said, I don't think others are caring at all. I think they're selfish. Isn't that startling? I think that's a startling finding. However, I say I think it's a startling finding. I actually would have been one of that 77%. I did not think, particularly, that others were caring. I thought people were more selfish than they are, until I started to awaken to that fact that people are caring. I want to spend a little bit of time now talking to you about why it is that we don't see caring very clearly. Why that 77% number? And the first thing that I'm going to talk to you about are something I call subtlety factors. So caring values are actually tacit. And by that I mean we don't actually think very much about our caring values. We don't know very clearly where they come from. And if I were to give you a list of 50 or 60 values, and such things certainly exist, and say to you, pick out your top 5 and put them in order, you could do it, but it would take you some real time and effort. And that's because we just don't pay that much attention to our caring values. The second thing that I think is important is that acting in caring ways makes us feel good. So people who act in caring ways have less depression, less anxiety, they have a greater sense of satisfaction in life. And that's an important thing. But the feeling that we get when we're caring is not exactly like a thunderclap. In fact, it's much more like white noise, kind of a sensation. It feels good, but it's easy for it to go under the radar. So that's the first reason why we don't notice caring very much. The second thing has to do with something called the negativity bias. Well established in psychology, the negativity bias. And it simply means that negative experiences weigh stronger than positive experiences. We pay more attention to them. So let's imagine you have a good friend, and every year you remember their birthday. Maybe you take them to lunch, you buy a little gift, you send a card, and then one year you're really busy, you're really distracted, something's going on in your life, and you forget. Unfortunately, the birthday you forgot weighs much more heavily in their mind than the 10 or 15 or 20 that you remembered. And that's not because your friend is a rotten person. That's because they're human and they have this negativity bias. We remember and we think more about the negative than the positive. So the negative is the hippo and the positive is the mouse. The third reason that we don't notice caring very much is something called the braggart's dilemma. So I'm going to need a little bit of audience participation here for this. I'm going to play a bit of a game with you. And the game is called How Good Is She Really? And I'm the she. Okay? And what you're going to do in this game is you're going to give me a rating. So if you give me 2 thumbs up, you think I'm really caring. If you give me 1 thumb up, you think I'm sort of caring. If you give me a thumb down, not very caring. 2 thumbs down, ooh, bad rating. Not caring at all. Okay? You got your thumbs ready? Here's the first situation. I care about homelessness. So it's Christmas time, and I decide I'm going to go to my local homeless shelter, and I'm going to serve a meal to the people who show up at the shelter and spend the evening chatting with them. Okay, I want to see thumbs. Oh, you guys are really sensitive to caring. So I got lots of 2 thumbs up, but I also got some 1s. And if I got 1s, I understand it very well. Because you could easily ask yourself the question, so if she's so caring about homelessness, one night, one evening, really, that's all she did. Caring counts more for us when it's done over long periods of time, when it costs us more money, when it costs us more energy. And it's easy for us to discount the caring of other people. Second situation, thumbs at the ready. Okay. I meet you outside here at one of the coffee breaks. I introduce myself, and within about a minute of getting to know you, I'm telling you about going to serve the homeless the meal on Christmas Eve. Give me a rating. Thumbs. Yeah, lots less thumbs this time. I even got thumbs down here. And that's because we don't like it when people brag about their caring. That is the braggart's dilemma. That if there is any kind of a whiff of self-promotion about what I'm saying, if you think I'm doing it for your positive, to have some sort of positive influence on you, you will discount my caring. And that means that it's really difficult to talk about your own caring in the world because we know that other people don't like it that much. If someone else talks about me, if someone else tells you that I went to serve dinner to the homeless, that's recognition. That's a whole different thing. So, if that's the case, if we don't notice caring very much, does it even matter? Why should I care? What's the difference if we don't notice caring very much? And here I'm going to talk to you for a couple of minutes about something called the free rider problem. I'm an academic, we have names for everything. And the free rider problem is just the idea that we don't like other people to get a free ride. We don't want to be the one who cares if everybody else is not caring. They've actually done research on this with people who had strong environmental values and wanted to do things about climate change and so on. And they put them in situations where they were either influenced by others who cared or others who did not care. So let's imagine I know you, and I don't know you very well, so I don't know that you recycle assiduously. I don't know that you ride your bike to work because you're trying to save car fumes. And I don't know you've cut down on your meat consumption because you're concerned about cow farts. No, seriously, cow farts. Really, it's a thing. Methane gas, it's very bad for the environment. So I don't know these things about you. It means that I am less likely to take environmental action myself. And that means that there's a real cost to the free rider problem. There's real cost to not knowing that other people care. So then, if caring is subtle, if we barely notice its satisfactions, if we have a negativity bias, if we're forbidden, or socially forbidden at least, from bragging about our own caring, and if we tend to be less caring when we think others aren't, it's very easy to overlook caring in the world. And I would like to spend my last few minutes talking to you about what we can do about that. So I wanted to have an acronym, and the acronym, of course, is CARE. Big surprise. It's actually a lot harder to create an acronym than you might think. The C stands for collaborate. So work with other people. Find a friend or your partner, someone from work, or find an organization and volunteer for them. Pick up trash on the beach, teach illiterate adults to read. Whatever causes move you, go and do it with other people. Psychologists will tell you that when we are connected to other people, our own well-being improves. So collaborating helps us. It helps whatever cause we're volunteering for. And while we're at it, as we work with other people and we see them care too, then we work on our own negativity bias. We actually see that others do care. The A is for awaken. And by awaken, I just mean start to look more carefully for things that are caring in the world around you. Maybe you keep a journal by your bed at night, and you write down 3 or 4 or 5 caring things that you saw happen today. It will help to increase your awareness of what's going on around you, and by doing so, help you to feel better. Imagine going to sleep at night having written about 3 wonderful things that you just heard about or saw during the day. The R is for recognize. This is like gossip, but in the nicest possible way. So gossip about people who you see doing caring things. I can't brag about my own caring, but you can brag on my behalf. And the more you talk about other people's caring, the less invisible it is to the people around you. And finally, the E is for enjoy. So I wanted the acronym to be CARE, and I didn't have an E. So I Googled E words, and enjoy just kind of jumped out at me. Because when you're collaborating around doing something you find worthwhile, when you're awakening to all the caring around you, and you're recognizing other people for their caring, then you will really be enjoying yourself. If you'd like to know more about this, I have a website called becomingyourbestself.org. It has lots of free resources and tools to help you learn more about caring, to help you assess how you're doing in caring, to help you plan actions that are caring, and also to motivate you, because this stuff is under the radar. It's not as easy to do as all that. So to come back to my original question, why should I care? I hope that at this point, if someone asks you that question, you can give the answer in all sincerity, because it's good for you and it's good for the world. Thank you.